guys, and welcome to Everyday Living with Simply Mercy B. Today we are making yeast rolls. We're going to use some white cake mix. This is the secret ingredient to these particular yeast rolls. Now, I got the recipe from an old book that I found from a yard sale. And this book was printed in 1987. And as you can see, I've already started tabbing out the different recipes that I would like to try out of here. But today it's going to be these easy hot yeast rolls. Now personally, I think we all can cook. It's just the way we understand the recipe and the way it's written. And I think I have the gift of understanding recipes, and I would like to share with you all. Okay, back to our recipe. Now I have slightly modified this recipe. It calls for 1.5 cups of water. So I am going to add a 1/2 cup of milk. And this is just regular whole milk because this is all I have on hand today. And I also have the remaining of the liquids I'm going to need, 3/4 cup of water. And this is warm water. Actually, it's still hot. Go ahead and set our water to the side and let it reach a warm temperature. And then we'll be ready to make those wonderful yeast rolls. See you in a bit. Our water and our milk have reached that warm temperature, which is between 90 and 110 degrees. And I'm going to go ahead and open up my packet of yeast and get it into my bowl. And this is just my mixing bowl that I'm going to be using to make our yeast rolls. We're going to go ahead and put our milk in and our water. Those two stir it in there. And we're going to let these hang out just a few minutes. And then we're going to go ahead and add our cake mix. I'm going to go ahead and take my cake mix, which I have already opened it up. And I'm going to get it into the bowl. And that's going to be for easy measuring for me. There. So now, we have already dissolved our liquids with our yeast. And now to that, we're going to add 1.5 cups of the cake flour. Along with 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And we're going to get these mixed well together. Okay. Now I think patience is the key. Sometimes I am a little bit impatient, but slow and easy, slow and easy. I can see it all coming together. Let me get you guys in that bowl. So I'm going to stop it at this point, and I'm going to bring it down, and I'm going to get those edges so they can get in, so the rest of my dry ingredients can get incorporated with this dough, with my liquids. And I also think I'm going to switch and get my paddle. And we'll put this bread hook back on when we get ready to add the flour. Okay guys, this is real time. And we are making this recipe together on this cool and rainy day here in Georgia. So we're just gonna remove this dough hook. We're just gonna lay it right here on our parchment paper, and we're gonna use our paddle. So that paddle can get everything mixed together. All right, here we go. Much better, much better. Oh yes. Use the paddle. Don't use the dough hook when you're mixing the liquids and your first ingredients together. This is good. This is good. Perfect. See, it's all about how you interpret that recipe, the way it's written. It can be confusing. It didn't tell me which attachment to use. I just assumed that we needed the dough hook, because I have made yeast rolls in the past and I've always started with my dough hook, but I see this paddle works a whole lot better. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, so we're going to go ahead and slow this down. Everything is looking really good. I'm going to bring you in close so that you can see what I see. We have our 2 1/4 cups of flour, and we're going to start adding this a little at a time. So I like to mix mine until my flour has disappeared, and then I'll put another scoop in there. Can you guys see how it's coming together? It's beautiful. Let me get you a little closer. See, I have added an additional cup of flour to this dough. This is what I was looking for. But as you can see, that the dough has started pulling away. Start pulling away. And that's what you're looking for, that elasticity of the dough. Now, according to that recipe, it told me 2 1/4 cups of flour. To me, that was not enough. So I added an additional cup to this dough. And to me, that is perfect, the way that's pulling. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and prepare our bowl so that it can rest and rise. So I have my big bowl here, and I'm just going to drizzle oil in my bowl. I have just regular olive oil here that I'm adding to my bowl. See there? Let's get it all nice and greased up. Okay, so we have our dough. And as I stated earlier, the recipe called for 2 1/4 cups of flour. And I didn't feel like that was enough flour, so I added an additional cup. Because I know we was looking for that elastic pull. See how that pull? Before, it was still very loose, so I knew that I needed some more flour. in there. All right. We're gonna go ahead and get this into our bowl, our grease bowl. And we're gonna cover it and let it rise. My hands are clean, no worries. So now we just want to toss this around in the oil. You can see that? And we come back after about an hour. This should have doubled in size. So take a good look at that. So you want to have some type of cloth and just cover it up and put it in a warm place so it can rise. All right, guys, we're back. And it has been 1 hour. And I wanted to show you all where I let my dough proof at. I used the microwave. As you can see, I have it here in the microwave. And let me let you go ahead and take a peek at it. Look at that dough. It has doubled in bulk. And we're ready to make some rolls. But first, I have some butter that I have cubed up, and I'm gonna go ahead and place this into the microwave and let this melt. So according to our recipe, this particular recipe, it will yield 24 rolls. All right, so I'm gonna take some of my melted butter and I'm gonna generously brush my pan. And this is the type of pan I like to use. And I like to try to get my rolls, when I'm making rolls, I like to try to get them as close as possible. Okay, you want to make sure it's nice and buttered. We're going to take our dough and we're going to go ahead and punch it down to deflate it. That's what we have done there. Okay. So our dough. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take off one piece of dough. I'm gonna bring you up a little closer in a second. So I like to keep my fingertips. Make sure you start off with clean hands. I like to grease those fingertips. Just pull off you a piece of bread dough about that big. I like to dip it in a little bit extra butter. Just roll it over a little bit onto itself. Make a small little ball, nothing fancy, and drop it right there in your pan. Again, you don't have to grease your fingertips every time, but when you feel them starting to get a little bit dry, you want to go ahead and grease those fingertips. About that size. And I still take a little dab, rub it on that roll on the inside. Remember, these are dinner rolls. And I like to get mine close so when they rise again, and the closer they are, oh, the more nice and soft and pillowy they are. Okay, let me bring you guys a little bit close so you can see the actual technique. So these rolls has to rise for another hour. So we're gonna cover them and we're gonna let these rolls rise for another hour, and then we're gonna immediately put them into the oven on 350 degrees. I'm gonna go ahead and set these aside and let them rise again. They are an easy roll. They're not a quick roll. So, but we hope that they are a good roll because I want to put this into my recipe book. Okay. All right, so here we go again. We're gonna take our towel and we're gonna cover our rolls and we're gonna allow those to rise for another hour. I will see you in 60 minutes. Okay guys, we've got our second rise out of our rolls, and now it's time to pop them into the oven. Okay guys, we're getting ready to get these rolls out of the oven. And this is what we have. Now I am going to immediately put some butter on top of these rolls. Guys, I'm not sure how pleased I am with these rolls, but we're gonna go with them. We're gonna see what they're talking about. I'm just gonna butter them down really good. Okay, I have me a plate here. All right, we're gonna take us one right from the middle. Take a look at that. It kind of reminds you of a biscuit. Smells good. Let's try it solo first. It's not bad, but it's not good either. I have some chicken here that I went and got from Costco. Let's see. It's not my favorite. That's not it. It's okay. It's definitely in need of something. Like I said, the flavor is not bad. And it's missing something. Since these rolls were a fail, I'm going to come to you all with a dinner roll that I would serve. These I will not serve. So in my book, I tried it and it doesn't work for me. So if anybody else out there try these rolls with the cake flour, let me know how it turned out for you. You know, it's just my taste, and it just doesn't work for me. Don't be afraid to try something new, even if it is a fail, because everything is not good. Some things don't work out, and I wanted to show y'all that everything doesn't work out all the time. And to me, I tried this recipe and it doesn't work out for me. Not saying that someone else might not love this recipe. Like I said, it's not bad, but I want a nice pillowy soft dinner roll. I want something fluffy, and to me, this is not it. I'll come back, and the next video will be dinner rolls that are approved by me. All right, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.